Woodworking projects for kids tend to fall in two categories: birdhouses and things that probably most kids aren't interested in. I picked up one book for kids, and one of the projects was how to build a coat hanger. Because really, I mean, to a kid, what is more fun than hanging up a coat? Oh, and birdhouses. Did I mention birdhouses? Because these kids today, that's what they like to do, is just watch birds. So the project I came up with is one that any kid can make with almost no experience, and I don't think it sucks. A pencil holder. No, that sucks. Normally, yes. But this one holds a secret. It's got a secret compartment that probably nobody would know about. And even if you told somebody there was a secret compartment there, it appears impossible to open it. I'll show you how at the end of the video. Start by scrounging around and finding any kind of wood you can. Any kind of scrap wood. You could use particle board or MDF. I've got some 1/4-inch plywood that I can cut into strips. You can use a handsaw, or a jigsaw, or a bandsaw. If you're lucky enough to have one, use a table saw. I cut 2 strips that are 2 3/4 inch wide and 2 strips that are 2 1/4 inch wide. And that's so when I put them together, I'll have a square. I'm gonna hold this together temporarily with a rubber band. This square should be 2 1/4 inches. I've also cut out 2 more square pieces. The first piece I cut out of a piece of 1/2 inch MDF. It just needs to be thick enough that it can hold some screws. The other square is for the false bottom, and I cut mine out of 1/8 inch plywood. But you could also use the same 1/4 inch plywood you used for the box. Find the center point on that thicker square by connecting the corners. There's gonna be a screw on each corner, so I wanna make sure that it's inset. Doesn't have to be exact, you just wanna make sure that this head of your screw isn't hanging over the edge. I'm drilling an 1/8 inch hole all the way through the center. For these 4 corner holes, I don't want to drill all the way through the MDFs. I just put a piece of tape on the drill bit that'll tell me when I need to stop before it goes all the way through. These are 1-inch wood screws I'm putting into these holes. I can set that piece aside now and get started on that thinner piece. And what you're gonna need to get are 2 rare earth magnets. This is a rare earth magnet. They are super strong. You can find them at most hardware stores. They're just fun to play with, if nothing else. Whenever I need to glue metal to wood, I like to use epoxy. Epoxy is a 2-part system that only hardens when the 2 are mixed together. And I like to use wax paper to mix it together, but you know, you can also use your mom's best dishes. So what I'm doing here is adjusting the height on 2 of these screws so that when it attaches to the magnet, it'll all be level. I can kind of use that as a guide to figure out where I want this false bottom to be. I think it should be inset about like that. I can just start to glue this up using yellow wood glue. If you don't have clamps, you could just wrap some rubber bands around it too. Smooth everything out with hand sandpaper or a power sander. Painting the inside of this black will help conceal the small hole in the bottom. So that's all there is to it. So find something you want to hide and seal it up. To open it, all you need is a pen. Take the pen apart. Take out this little ink part and find that little hole in the bottom. Press it through.